it's Victoria for SlurpVision, and this is our winemaker series of Australian winemakers. I'm here with Zara Brooks of Dandelion Vineyards, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Bloody brilliant to be here, thank you.
Thank you. Can you start by telling us a little bit about Dandelion Vineyards, like where you're situated, about the vineyards, and about the winery?
Well, Dandelion Vineyards is in South Australia, which is in the middle of Australia down the bottom. And our little capital city, it's quite quaint, we've kept it the same for the last 100 or so years. Quiet, sleepy place. Around Adelaide, within about an hour and a half's drive, are a whole lot of fantastic wine regions, from the Clare Valley, right up in the north, through to the Barossa Valley, Eden Valley above the Barossa, the Adelaide Hills, down to McLaren Vale. And we have vineyards in all those areas.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
And what are the grapes that you're working with?
The grapes we're working with range from cool climate grapes like Sauvignon Blanc in the Adelaide Hills, or grapes that grow well in cool climates, through to Riesling in the Eden Valley, Shiraz in the Barossa Valley, Shiraz in McLaren Vale. So we try to match the varieties of the regions.
So they're you're making sure they're in the right places.
Yeah, it's like playing cards, the like with like, you're trying to keep the trumps with the trumps.
Right. Excellent. Are there any kind of trends about Australia that you might want to share with us? Anything that's kind of up and coming, or that you're busy with there?
Oh look, I think in Australia there's a huge amount of innovation and change in new varieties. But interestingly, the classic combinations of, say, Riesling in the Eden Valley and Shiraz in McLaren Vale and things like that, they're all coming back now, and people are discovering them really for the first time, especially in the UK.
I have to ask, the label is amazing. Everybody really, really likes it, especially at Slurp. It's very popular. But can you tell us about the name of the wine and also what inspired it?
Well, the name, the idea of Dandelion Vineyards was inspired by an old grower in the Eden Valley, a guy called Colin Crone, and he had at the time he was in his late 80s, and we had, with our partner Carl Lindner, convinced him to lease us his vineyard so we could start making wine from it. And part of the leasing of the vineyard is we had to start running it. And a part of the organic and traditional farming principles is that we were trying to get a cover crop between the rows. So vines take everything, put everything back into the soil except for nitrogen. So we started planting some dandelions between the rows.
Okay.
And he thought this was just ridiculous. He hates weeds, and he didn't like anything between the rows. And he said to us, when he saw a weed, he saw the devil, and decided, he said, "You've turned my vineyard into a dandelion vineyard," and that's when we decided that's a good name.
Oh, it is a really nice name. It's a good story.
It is a good story.
Okay, now if you don't mind, I'll just ask you a few topics, and I'd just love to get your kind of quick opinion on them. Just thumbs up, thumbs down.
Yeah.
I'll just throw them at you. Feel free to give a little comment if you like.
I'm under pressure now, right? I'm ready. Okay.
It's a game. Okay, organic wines. Okay, any comments, or is that enough?
Look, I think if you have to, wine is ostensibly made to organic principles, and if you have to put it on the label, it's a bit like going out on a date and just writing single ones across the top of your face. It's just it ruins things. The table almost went then.
Okay, biodynamic wines.
Oh yeah, same. Actually, that's double thumbs.
Double thumbs.
I mean, if you buy dynamic, you be proud and you do it yourself. Some of these vineyards are actually biodynamic and organic. The most difficult thing about those two things is being certified in the paperwork. But I don't think it's something that you should be
using
trying as a hook to sell your wine.
Okay. Screw caps.
Double thumbs up.
Yeah?
Absolutely. And tasting great screw cap trials from Australia from the 1970s.
Okay.
That are now 40 years old.
That's interesting. I mean, how do you find that they age, 40 years old?
Well, the myth is that you put a screw cap on a bottle of wine and it's in some sort of cold stasis, that it's been, cryogenically frozen, whatever. Of course, all the normal aging processes occur, including, oxygen take-up and things like that, but you don't have the variability of cork.
Okay.
Cork is a fantastic natural product, and especially good for shoes and floors and other things, but not so good for wine.
Okay. Robert Parker.
Thumbs up, thumbs down. It's a that's a
double-edged sword.
Yeah, look, he's a really nice guy to meet and taste wine with, and he's a very intelligent guy. I think he'd make an excellent critic of architecture, because he likes the big and the stupendous and the monumental, and he's very good at that. We have a Robert Parker for Australia that works for him called Lisa Protty Brown.
All right.
And so she's like the new Robert Parker.
Is everyone afraid of her?
But like criticising Robert Parker is like criticising a bank manager. You know, that's just not the right thing to do.
Yeah, good. All right, well, thanks so much for that. Let's get to tasting the wines then.
Excellent.
Click on the bottle of your choice for a tasting review with the winemaker.